Ladies and gentlemen, if you think that Halloween 5 versus Friday 5 was rough, you probably need to stick around and see what we have to say about these two movies. It's Jason Takes Manhattan versus Halloween Resurrection. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Versus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's my level of excitement for this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I am Brandon. Alongside me always is Andrew and Chris.
Hey,
hello.
hey.
I gotta get a drink of water here.
This is just one of those things that has to be done.
I got a lot to say here. Not really.
I don't. I have nothing.
No, you do. You got all kinds of shit to say.
I got nothing but hate.
That's a little strong.
There ain't nothing but hate in my heart.
I've been waiting for this one because Chris is super, almost excessively unbiased when it comes to, or overly biased, I should say, on how much he hates Resurrection.
Oh, absolutely.
Super bad. Almost to where he's just psychotic about it.
And I'm indifferent toward it, but I'm one of those rare people that kind of a masochist and likes Part 8 of Friday a little bit more than I should let on.
I do because it's Friday.
I wouldn't go around spreading that.
Well, here's the thing. I would say that I actually like Friday Part 8 as much as I do Resurrection for their own reasons.
Yeah.
I know most people can't say that, and I still think that they're both down.
Oh, yeah.
Way down on the list, don't get me wrong, but I can still watch them. I mean, if I can watch Halloween 5, I can watch Halloween Resurrection. So, and I mean, anyway. So, Christopher, why don't you go through our categories for this evening?
All right. As usual, we have story/script, setting, acting, kills, and then this time, instead of scare factor, it's goofy factor.
had to change that.
Yeah,
because
there's nothing scary about either one.
Exactly, I agree. So, I guess let's go ahead and kick it off. Halloween Resurrection was released in 2002. Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, was released in 1989, you said?
Yep.
1989. Both kind of a product of their time, especially with Halloween. You had the beginning of the viral web stuff, like reality TV. But it is kind of ahead of its time a little bit when it comes to watching shit online.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of a bonus point to it, I think. I know you don't really like that, but
no, I hate that.
But I know you do, but that is,
and that's not against this movie. It's just I hate.
It's just, you just don't like.
Yeah, I hate anything reality TV. I think it's fucking ridiculous.
So I have to give him props for that. The reality thing doesn't hold up as much in 2018, even though there's still a boatload of that bullshit. It's just anyway. I guess let's just get to it. Setting. Or no, story/script. I'm sorry. Story/script. Slasher. Which one of you guys want to go first on this?
I'm undecided.
Undecided?
Yep.
You're gonna go. I'm gonna go Halloween. I'm gonna go Halloween, and do you want me to tell you why now, or do you want to go?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I don't think that either one of these scripts or stories are good.
No.
At all. Not really. I don't think that Fridays was way worse or anything like that. Like I want to get people thinking that I think Halloween's, whatever. But I do like the structure of it a little bit better than Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
Jason Takes Manhattan is just a whole different approach. And goofy and weird from the whole get-go.
Kind of all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah.
And, and another thing I was disappointed about was there was way less time in Manhattan when the movie's called Jason Takes Manhattan than, most of the time was spent on the fucking boat.
I think that's the worst thing about it.
Right. And whereas Halloween, this was one of the best Meyer houses I've seen next to, the original one. Every other movie's always got a weird looking Myers house. Like 6 had it fixed up. 5 was like a Victorian looking house. It looked terrible. Wasn't even the same house or even tried to be the same house. I like the fact that because I do like the idea of a little bit of like spending the night in a haunted house, see if you can do it. If it's really creepy, and explore that. I get kind of what they were going for, and I don't mind that. It wasn't near as all over the place. Yeah, there were some goofy parts, but it wasn't near as all over the place as Jason Takes Manhattan. The Laurie Strode stuff was a little weak.
Huge disappointment.
I know they had, at the end of H2O, they did write this before, I guess, so they could have a way to get, keep him alive, bring him back. I thought it was weak. It wasn't terrible, just weak. I know killing her off was a bugaboo to him and many others. I didn't like it, but I don't hate it.
Why even put her in the movie?
Right. Well, yeah, she wanted to be done after H2O. I mean, she felt he was dead, but she did it.
They could have locked her up.
But they chose to kill her.
They could have shown her at the very beginning, in the institution, locked up. She's crazy because she accidentally killed the wrong guy, and that's it.
And that is my one major point: how they try to explain away the ending of a pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a pretty clean sweep over the new blood.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. And
H2O is one of my favorite Halloween.
They just it's not up. They came up with this MacGuffin where they're like, well, that really didn't happen,
Yeah.
That it was hard to get into the movie. I mean, once they switched gears and got to the Myers house, it was, like
there was
two separate movies.
There was a couple cool shots, I think, in the beginning where it kind of showed him. They left the gate open because that one guard was bringing the other guy back in. Who was obsessed with serial killers, and then it kind of showed him in the bushes, and like a silhouette, and in the bushes in the dark, his mask looked really good. And it's not the weakest mask of the series in my opinion. It's just not the greatest, but there's a couple shots that I thought looked really good.
Yeah. The cinematography in these are always really
and
really
I think
good.
the cinematography and the lighting in Halloween is
I thought
great.
it looked good. I just think the whole premise of how they decided to bring him back was just
it was weird.
Yeah.
It could have just been done better. But you know what? Jason comes back in the stupidest way sometimes,
yeah.
and he looked all wet and it was weird the whole movie. Anyway, what was I know your pick was Friday.
Yep.
Okay, what was that for? What did you pick Friday for?
For the story and the script, I just like it more than the reality stuff. Yeah, it's a little more. They tried to do something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Kind of comes down to the bias for both of us. Would it probably?
I think they had the idea of taking Manhattan was great, but they didn't have the means.
Right.
So
yeah,
the boat thing kind of sucked, but there were still some good scenes on the boat.
Yeah. I mean, there were some strong I like the atmosphere of being alone in the storm. I like there were some really spooky spots, and I'll talk about one of those later.
Yeah,
when we get to some kills. But there are things that I enjoyed about Friday. I just think that more of Halloween was a little bit better to me.
Yeah, and I don't think either one of these were great. But
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to be as objective as possible to both of these goofy ass movies. All right.
Well, hey, I'm gonna impress you right here then, because I'm gonna say Halloween.
Wow.
And the only reason why is because it is a better structured story.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's a better structured story. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't like the story, it's still a little better.
Not as jumbled.
But I also think that Manhattan could have been awesome.
Yeah.
They just screwed the pooch on it.
Yeah. In a lot of ways.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it could have easily beat this one.
So, Halloween wins because of me.
Which is weird.
Because somebody had to.
Somebody had to. All right, setting. Number 2.
Setting. It also wins, but it is a split too.
Yeah. And it's
the same split. Me, Brandon, and picked Halloween. Like always. And
Seems
Andrew
like
always picks Friday.
For me, with this one is the lighting and the cinematography. I like the scene, even though not all it's executed well, and there's some bad acting and script shit. I do think that the stuff at the sanitarium had a good feel about it. The suspense was building as he was making his way to Laurie. I thought that was okay.
Right.
And like I said earlier, this house was closest to the Myers house. I thought it looked really good.
Yeah.
I like the setting there. I like that they're enclosed in this one house. It could have been done a lot better, but I did like it.
That's the only reason.
Absolutely.
Why I picked it.
Yeah, and Manhattan, had it been better and longer.
In Manhattan?
Longer?
Yes. If it wouldn't have been on the boat, I would have.
Like if he would have been through Manhattan and just killed everybody he's seen.
Because the scenes in Manhattan are awesome.
Yeah, like they're not bad. It's just if it would have been more, I think I could have leaned in that direction more. But I do like this. Sometimes structure's better. Yeah. Sometimes a little bit of simple is better. Yeah. And in this all together, I think it was better for me. That's just my opinion. So, anybody got anything else to say about setting?
Nah.
No, pretty much straightforward. Acting.
This is gonna shock everyone.
Woo! I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Acting goes to Friday.
It's like the first or second time that's happened.
I think it's the first time.
It might be.
I would have to give it. Okay, I don't know.
Oh, he's gonna go back now. He's got to say how.
Because we had this as a straight sweep for Friday.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like they're both so bad. I mean, Kane Hodder was great, like always. I thought Brad Lorry as Michael Myers was great. I liked the look. For the most part, I like. The final girls. There was something about the final girl in Friday that wasn't good, but I liked.
She's likable.
But that's about it. But you know, like Sarah, I believe her name is from Resurrections. Really not.
No.
She's kind of pretty. I've seen her in better stuff.
Open for death.
I wasn't. But
I was hoping Michael would come up behind me in the theater and cut my throat.
Well, you didn't even last long enough anyway. You walked out, didn't you?
Yeah. That's still the only movie I've walked out
of. I don't know. Like I don't hate her. I just don't. I can't get behind her. I like some of the other actors. What would you say her name was? The blonde that got her head lopped off. She was in Longmire in 24.
Oh, Katie Sackhoff.
Yes, great actress. She was kind of your typical fun horror kind of type character a little bit in this one. Little wild girl. Liked her. Tyra was terrible. As always. Busta had some funny parts. So he actually wasn't the worst one in this. To me. But at the same time, he had really bad parts.
The worst part.
That's subjective, but pretty bad. Probably one of the worst. I don't know. Anyway, forgettable. Manhattan was so forgettable. I'm gonna say Halloween. Just because I just think it edges just a little bit. But you guys can outvote me on this one. I'm not even going to be upset about it.
Well, here's so my split. Point. Here's my point on the acting: is Friday was terrible. Halloween was terrible. That like the acting line.
Mm-hmm.
But Friday was filmed in 1989. What year was Halloween?
2002.
2002. It's acceptable to me to have bad acting in a movie from 1989.
And a slasher.
Exactly. It's not acceptable to me to have bad acting in a movie from 2000.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And other than...
Not with a budget of
Other than the boxer guy, I really can't think of anything just
terrible.
Awful.
Yeah. No, that's... The boxer was the worst.
The guitar player was kind of corny.
Yeah, she was over the top.
Yeah, she was over the top.
There's several over the top. And of course, you had the crazy old man that always got to be in these movies.
Yeah. By this point, everyone was cheering Jason, so these people were just cannon fodder.
Yeah. Well, I was cheering for Michael too.
Yeah, I was too.
Anyway, I'll give it to Friday or Halloween. You guys give it to Friday. Yes. That's a Friday win.
Friday wins.
So we got 2 Halloweens and a Friday. Kills number 4.
Friday.
I'll have to give it to Friday. It's not even. I don't even know if it's close. I think it's a little bit more lopsided.
Halloween had I think the only kill that I really liked in Halloween was the tripod.
That was the best one.
It wasn't even a really good one.
I think it was good.
It was just unique because of the tripod being used. Like,
well, it was unique for Michael too, because Michael's got really plain Jane kills a lot of times.
Yeah, he does. But like, if you like, I don't know. The way the camera is, and the tripod. It just it doesn't make sense how it does it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Favorite kills from Friday, since we all kind of agreed.
Well, even though it's probably the goofiest one, the boxer getting his head knocked off, just because it's so good.
The uncle or whatever getting dumped in the toxic chemical waste or whatever, that was good.
I'll go with the guitar girl, just because of guitar, and the way he slowly crept up on her and used it on her.
She was rock. It was really corny and cheesy, but it was that was all right. And the scariest to me as a kid, as a younger kid, the scariest one to me in Friday goes to one of the preppy or hot girl or whatever who's in the shower.
Yeah,
like even though she was kind of a bitch, like I felt for her, like I was scared for her when I was a kid, because I mean a broken like the thought of getting stabbed anyway sucks.
Yeah, and
that scared me to death when I was a kid. But like having that big old triangular chunk of glass. Jagged. It was kind of a Michael Myers type kill, but it was just, man, it was, she was screwed, and it sucked, man. I was scared for her.
Glass is nasty.
Glass just is scary for some reason to me. At least it was when I was a kid.
It's scarier than a knife for some reason.
When you've seen it, I think it's when you've seen the knife a lot.
Yeah.
And you didn't see the glass.
Well, and the glass is going to leave little shards in you too.
Oh man, just thinking about. Oh, glass sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, it just scared me for some reason. So I thought that was one that always stood out, because I remember just because being pinned in a corner. A lot of these deaths happen without them even like realizing it. Yeah, there's so many out of the blue kills for these people. This one here, I mean, she was begging and crying and beforehand. It was kind of like the H2O kill where he had her head pinned down and he was just stabbing her in the back brutally.
Vicious.
That's just scary.
Yeah.
Because they know it's coming and they're scared to death, and you feel for them. So to me, that was one of the best kills too. I got to give it to Friday, 100%.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
So we're tied.
Oh boy, and then
there's the goofy factor.
We're at the goofy factor.
Number 5, final one.
Okay, my time to shine, I guess.
Go for it.
I have my thoughts on the goofy factor for these movies are. They're both goofy. Friday is more goofy than Halloween. But there's the one scene where Busta Rhymes does karate and beats Michael Myers with karate he learned off of movies.
That's not racist at all.
Not only
blaxploitation stuff.
Not only is it like I could be okay with it. I would still be mad, but I could be okay with it if he just used karate.
Yeah.
But he does the whole
whoa. Yeah. I know.
They took it way too far. They took it way
too fucking
It was
goofy.
too goofy.
Yeah. So that I know
we do a fucking show called Warehouse B, where we review some of the worst movies, and a lot of those movies don't have shit like that in it. I mean, some of them have.
I think some of them worse shit.
Yeah, some of them have. But like,
but for a Halloween pick,
exactly,
and you're coming off of H2O.
Yes,
in the modern time,
it's a very serious movie.
Supposed to be anyway. Oh man, yeah, that's not. It's not like the movie is good, the acting and all that stuff's good at all, but that is definitely one of the goofiest things. That's probably about the goofiest thing for sure.
It is
movie.
in Halloween.
I can't think of a lot.
It's the goofiest thing in the Halloween franchise.
Now, one goofy thing that happened in Resurrection that I actually really enjoyed, and I think we all enjoyed it, was where he was dressed up as Michael Myers, trying to scare everybody, because at this point that you just think it's a show,
right?
It was Dangertainment. It's not, it's not real. They think it is. And then the real Michael comes up behind him, scares him, and he thinks it's Charlie who got killed by the tripod.
Yeah.
And he's like tapping him on the head, telling him, you go out to Nora and you go out there and wait on it. You're supposed to be out there helping her. You go get your ass out there. And he's cussing at him and he's tapping on him. And Michael doesn't do nothing at the moment. He just kind of thinks, well, I'm going to go kill her first then. So he turns around and leaves without, just breathing. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's probably intimidated because he knew karate.
Oh, exactly.
Maybe, yeah.
Exactly.
I actually thought that was actually a really good scene.
It was. I thought it was
goofy.
I thought it was too.
At this point, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I think him just busting through the door at the end saying "trick or treat, motherfucker," and then doing that was one of the worst things.
What?
And of course, the young kid watching her and helping her was. Well, it was.
Oh my god, dude! I haven't even said anything.
Texting.
I didn't even think nothing
Deckard.
about that.
Yeah.
Because I had Busta Rhymes on my mind so hard.
Yeah.
That whole thing was.
Well, you got to think you're a college student versus a freshman. Is like, that's weird.
Dude,
that's weird. I don't know. They could have thought this out through, a little bit
and
more.
all of his friends, the people at the party were standing around watching him help her. Get the fuck out! Like, this is 2002, man. Like this was supposed to be the new second coming of the slasher.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
It was already kind of on its way out again.
I know. And this helped usher it.
It put the Halloween franchise on hold.
Yeah.
Again. Takes Manhattan was.
I think the goofiest part is the end
of
Manhattan. The whole thing in the toxic waste. How he reverts back to being a little boy at the end.
Oh my god!
They didn't. You can tell they didn't have an ending.
Yeah.
Peels his mask off. It looks terrible, dude. I tell you what, man. Thank you for reminding me of that, by the way.
Yeah.
Because
I forgot about that.
I'm sorry, but that right there is about as goofy.
That is almost. But
no,
it's also 1989.
I don't care. I don't care. By that time, you had Back to the Future, you had Scarface, you had all kinds of cool shit. I don't want to. That was fucking retarded.
Yeah.
You want to put something up there with Busta Rhymes doing karate? That's it. That's bad.
Yeah.
That is bad.
That's just as bad as has her the psychic girl's dad coming out of the lake at the end and pulling him down back in the river. That's just fucking retarded.
The boxing on top of the roof.
Boxing's
which
goofy.
you said in another podcast that he wasn't even supposed to be up there.
Yeah. Like why would he be up there?
Right.
Yeah. Why were you up there after all this time?
Why the hell would a boxer be up on the roof? What sense does that make?
So he could get his head lopped off and it bounces up
exactly.
and then it goes into
Plot
the
device.
dumpster.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
I
don't. Maybe he was up there smoking a joint or something.
Him riding the anchor or whatever, and
how he got to Manhattan to begin with.
And just how he got to the dock from the lake was stupid.
There were a couple.
The lightning bolt hits him, and it comes back alive. He had some good kills, but he looked wet all the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
There
were a couple of things that I liked. They were goofy, but in a good way.
Right.
When he sees the hockey billboard. And he turns toward the camera.
Yeah,
that was really cool. The boombox in Times Square was
really good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
But
I don't know. Like it's not. I don't. Neither one of these movies are supposed to be taken. Well, this one I don't think is supposed to be taken near as serious. Resurrection probably should have been. Unfortunately, they tried to be serious for whatever reason. I don't know, man. I guess it really comes down to me, doesn't? Well, you both pick Friday.
I did.
Or you picked Halloween.
I picked.
You picked Friday.
Yeah. I said Halloween was just because Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
Just man.
I have to.
I mean, there's other goofy stuff too, but Busta Rhymes made it.
I said that I was going to hopefully have my mind made up by the end of this, and I don't. I don't know. I think Resurrection is just very bad. The Busta Rhymes thing's pretty bad, but Jason Takes Manhattan. It's just a mess.
Yeah,
like it's goofy, and I think it's as bad as Resurrection has. Some of its scenes and stuff. I think Jason Takes Manhattan is more of a mess.
I would agree.
And it should have been, like, even comparing the two, it should have been so much better. It could have been so much better. But I just think there's so much of a mess there. I'm going to have to probably just barely edge it to Friday.
Yeah.
Just barely. So I think Friday wins that. And I might feel differently later. I don't know. There might be some things I'm forgetting in Resurrection. But they're both bad. Let's put it this way.
We're scraping bottom, people.
It doesn't even fucking matter who wins this because we all lose.
Yeah.
We all lose. All fans of these franchises lose.
Yeah.
It's
everybody lost.
And it's.
How long of a break did Friday have to take?
Next one was 93.
So not that long then.
And then that one absolutely killed it.
Yeah, that one I don't even want to discuss on this channel.
Too bad.
Even on Warehouse B, I don't care to discuss.
We're going to have to discuss it. Sorry. Sorry. Because that's got boobies in it.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Breath, mama.
Breath, mama. Speaking of which, did Jason Takes Manhattan have any?
Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And not only that, have you seen the outtakes where when he opens the hatch to find her, he's Kane Hodder's wearing a dildo?
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, that's great.
I did see that.
You need to look that up. That's really
I did
funny.
see that.
She wasn't actually in there. It was the cameraman, and he opens up the hatch to get him.
I
and
remember
he's got
that.
this big white dildo on.
I remember that, yeah. Made her laugh, yeah. I remember that. We're going to figure out how to do what we're going to do with the other two, because we've got Jason X, you got Jason Lives, or not Jason Lives, I'm sorry, Jason Goes to Hell, and then we've got the remakes that we're supposed to be putting up together. We might do the remakes.
I was about to say, we could just skip and go remake versus remake.
Yeah.
And we could do both Halloweens versus the Friday.
Versus the Nightmare. I think we should do versus Nightmare too.
Ooh, all
I still
three?
need to see Nightmare.
We'll do that, and then
Hey,
we'll watch
spoiler alert, I think Nightmare wins.
that. Ooh, we'll talk about that. We'll have to sit down chat on that one. And then we'll figure out something to do with the rest of the Friday series. We need to
Put the crap against each other.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Oh, by the
Which
way,
one's
I don't think I said, but Friday wins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
3-2.
I was getting to that. Yeah. Friday is our winner/loser.
Everyone look at it.
Everyone go watch Jason Takes Manhattan. That's it's a keeper.
It's a true gem.
Hey, I tell you what, it's you know what? Really, honestly though, I would watch Resurrection. Oh, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I can watch Resurrection and Jason Takes Manhattan more than I can Friday 5 and Halloween 5.
Yeah, me too.
Halloween 5 and 6 are pretty rough. And I used to like 5 a lot. And I can still watch 5. But, man, I think I could probably watch Resurrection more often than 5. I don't know. I think it's just because of I accepted the goofiness now. I can watch it for what it is now. 5, I don't know. They're both fucking bad. Yeah. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here.
5 really misses Ellie Cornell.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Really,
and I did like Wendy Kaplan played Tina. I liked her. I'm in the minority.
You're the only one.
I'm in the minority on Tina character, but I think Ellie Cornell is the best when it comes to that mid trilogy or whatever. So whatever you want to call the Thorn trilogy or whatever. But anyway, let us know in the comments below what you guys think about this versus and about what you think about. Let us know what you think about these two movies. My guess is you're probably not going to have high praise, as Nick Cage would say. But anyway, you never know. I guess we'll see you next time. We're going to go ahead and we'll figure out what we're going to do about Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell. But we're going to be probably doing the remakes very soon. So until then, we will see you next time.
See it.
Peace.